And then cool. Okay, guess we have to go with that. Okay.
The Phenomenal Fan Podcast, a podcast by the fan, for the fan.
All right, ready to rip?
Yep.
Pull this back over. All right. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Phenomenal Fan Podcast, episode number 32. My name is Ryan. His name is Jared. We got a good little episode for you guys today. Not a lot going on the sporting calendar, but things are starting to heat up. This day, specifically as we record here, July 20th, is probably the driest sports day in the sporting calendar. MLB All Star game is over. Home run derby is over. There's no baseball, no basketball, no football, no hockey, but we still have a good episode for you guys today. We're going to be recapping the MLB All Star week, all the festivities that go into that, and we will be covering the NFL season win totals, giving you our predictions for overs and unders for all 32 teams. So be sure to stick around for that towards the end. We appreciate you guys tuning in to the Phenomenal Fan Podcast, episode number 32. And yeah, let's just get straight into it.
The Phenomenal Fan Podcast, a podcast by the fan, for the fan.
All right, Jared. Here we are. We are on we're on that Wednesday after the All Star game. Every year that day comes and it is brutal.
Dude, it is the worst day of the year. I mean, I bitched about it at work all morning. Like, what's supposed to I don't have a hits parlay rolling, helping me get through the day. Like, what's going on?
Because even right,
the one WNBA game that happened at fucking 10 o'clock Mountain Time.
I can't even believe. I mean, honestly, I think if they're gonna go with none of the four professional men's sports, just bang everything in the country. Just don't even. Just make it a day off for everybody. So that way, like, everybody in the country can just take a full day. Like, don't make fucking WNBA.
Call it like National Lake Day.
Yeah, exactly. It's a summer day.
You're like hitting that kind of like that midsummer stride. Like, let's send it to like everyone. Go to the fucking lake, pack a cooler with a bunch of fucking summer shandies and Leinenkugels and all sorts of summery spritzy shit, and just enjoy like a classic summer day.
Yep.
Because there's not shit there's nowhere to be.
Yep.
I'm actually I'm golfing and playing 2 softball games tonight. That's how bored I am, and I'm really sore. So like that's how it's a boring day.
Well,
It's awful.
no, it sucks. It's yeah, I don't even know how to describe it other than it's just like sporting fans, just like worst nightmare. It's just a worst nightmare. The good news is, and we will get into it at the end, NFL training camps, I believe, are opening. Like rookies are supposed to be reporting starting, I think, yesterday or today. The veterans report this weekend. So that means football's right around the corner. And boy, do we fucking love football. So let's just hold on till that and know that that's coming sooner than we think. In the meantime, the last couple of days unfolded. The MLB All Star game happened yesterday. The AL took the dub again. 3-2 is the final score. 9 in a row for the American League. And the game was sort of entertaining. I got a little bit worried there because Jared and I were sharing bets with each other. I bet on no run first inning, assuming that the two guys picked to be essentially the best starting pitcher in each league would come out and just be able to get 3 outs. But that's way too ambitious of me, apparently. Shane McClanahan, yeah, he's young. Didn't really have his best stuff. Was throwing shit all over the place. Gave up a couple runs. And, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. The American League and National League, like winning streaks and stuff, doesn't really mean anything to me. It did mean a lot more back when it meant home field advantage in the World Series, which was like the dumbest fucking thing to ever be implemented. I understand sort of why they would want to put that in to incentivize the players, but thinking about the fact that a team could win 110 games against a wild card team that won 88, and then the 88 win team would get home field advantage because a bunch of guys from their league played a better game back in July. Like it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
It's a pretty because Jason Schmidt for the Giants gave up a 3-run run
because Joe Mantiply came in for the Diamondbacks and didn't have his best stuff. You know, like what?
Yeah.
Like it was stupid. But so the win streaks for me now, it doesn't really mean anything. I personally just want to see my guys do well. Machado, Joe Musgrove, Jake Cronenworth on the Padres. And after that, it's like, give me some entertainment. But I bet the under as well. And that did hit. I was nervous that wasn't going to hit because same thing we just said about like 1 or 2 guys having a bad day. McClanahan gave up 2 in the first. Tony Gonsolin came in the fourth, I think. Gave up a 3 spot. And I was like, okay, well, we're fucked. Tony Gonsolin was throwing fucking Iron Mike over the top batting practice. Giancarlo Stanton hit a ball 900 feet. Byron Buxton hit a ball 915 feet. It was ridiculous. I was like,
oh my god. How about those catcher views? That was pretty cool.
The umpire camera,
it's the umpire cam.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. It's still so hard to actually do justice with that camera.
Yeah.
Looks like
because you need an HD. You need an HD camera. I don't know.
You need like it's literally got to be like set up in just like with an unbreakable screen behind it, like a wider view because it's kind of got that fisheye view to it that looks a little bit funky coming in. The pitcher's way down this tunnel of a camera. It's like really hard to grasp like a clean view of it.
I need like cool. Like those cameras that are on like the cable, that are like at football games that are like hovering over the field. If they could manage to get one of those and like tell the umpire to scoot back and just put it like right on the top of the catcher's helmet, like the HD ass camera with the dope microphone, so you could pick up the fucking like into the glove and just like.
Oh, dude,
that would be
that 103 mile per hour Ryan Helsley fucking pitch. That thing was loud from like the outfield camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Turbo.
So this is actually a good transition here because it's not even really a transition, but it's getting into what we wanted to talk about. And it was that I think of all the All-Star games and All-Star midseason, events, celebrations, if you will, of all the 4 major sports and probably the rest of them, I think Major League Baseball has the best of the best. And that's including the skills competition, which would be the home run derby the day before, but then the All-Star game itself, because it's guys actually competing at a super high level. They're playing, I would say besides, of course, the guys probably like loafing it down the line on a ground ball, which no one cares about. Mm-hmm. Pitchers are still throwing 104, 103. guys are still trying to hit home runs, and they do. And so seeing the best of the best match up and actually try to best each other, in my opinion, is the best product of all the professional sports. When you look at the NFL, obviously the Pro Bowl is an absolute joke. No one gives a shit about that game.
They should just cancel it at this point.
Yeah, cancel it and just do the skills, whatever the skills competitions are, or like
was last year the first year where they just like they just wrapped guys up and they just blow the whistle.
Yeah, that was it.
It was like
it
was a non-tackle game.
Yeah, it was two-hand touch. It was two-hand touch.
I miss fucking Sean Taylor blowing up Brian Moorman, the punter, on a fucking spear
on a fourth down fake punt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I missed that Pro Bowl. That Pro Bowl was sick. They used to be kind of fun, but it is dog shit now.
And I get it. The thing is, too, is like, I get it, though. I get why they're not hitting each other, because it's like, for what? You know, why would you do anything about it? Same with the NBA, where it's like, why would I go ballistic, or why would I, if I'm Nikola Jokic and I get the ball fed to me, why am I going to try to back down Giannis? And on the flip side, why would Giannis want to play defense? Like, what is the incentive to that? You know? I know the teams are like, I don't know, recently also, they might have like made it so that the teams are getting money, I think maybe, or they were like,
it's
like donation to charity.
Too.
Yeah. They changed the format. Yeah.
Where it's like you play to a certain number per quarter. And then I think we had a podcast about it right after it happened, where I was like, I'm pretty sure like betting wise, they made it, they just kind of arbitrarily choose what they're playing to. And betting wise, they made it so that you couldn't get to the over.
Yeah.
Like the over that was on the sports books. I remember we talked about that because they arbitrarily were like, yeah, we're playing to fucking 27. So like if you look
per
at the
quarter,
points, like, even if it was 26 to 27, you could have never hit the over.
Because then they finished they finished the 3 quarters and they're like, all right, first team to score 152. You're like, what? You're like, what's that number? Where did that come from? Like, what the fuck? And so it's
who made that decision? And also lack of defense, lack of competitiveness. They like it's more entertaining than the football because they're throwing oops.
Yeah.
The NHL has too many fucking. They have too many things going on. Right?
Well, and they have theirs is like
4 All Star.
Theirs is they just turned it into like a tournament. So it's like East versus West, North versus South, and then the winner of those two, and they only play like one period each one. Like it's like one period, and it's like 3-on-3.
So what's going on? Like why are professional sports fucking fixing shit that wasn't really broken? What's going on with that?
I don't know.
I think there's you know what it is? There's a hot intern.
Probably.
There's a hot intern that pitches the idea, and the guy the big swinging dick in the room is across the room, and he's like, "That's a great idea, Stacy."
Yeah, probably. I mean, fuck, I didn't know the NHL All Star Game stuff before. I know they had a skills competition, fucking slap shots, speed skating, all that shit, and like that stuff's cool. But I think the baseball All Star Game itself is the best All Star Game of all the sports, and I don't think it's particularly close. Like I think.
No,
I think, and those guys try, like, even on the only part of the MLB All Star Game where they don't, I would say, give their all is when they hit a routine ground ball. And it's like, again, same thing as every other sport or every other game.
They don't do that. They don't give their all in a fucking regular season.
On a ground ball. Yeah, exactly.
On a routine ground ball. So
yeah, I get it.
It's called big league game. We've always been hey, you can't, maybe when you make it to the big leagues, you could run like that. Remember,
and then they do. Exactly.
Someone's dad's on your ass. Yeah, no, and like Emmanuel Clase like finished that game out with like a 99-mile-per-hour fastball up and in.
Well, how about
he was there to kill?
Yeah, and how about in the second or like his second at bat, Manny Machado? Maybe it was his first at bat. Yeah, I think it was his first at bat. He fucking rips one up the middle. Andres Gimenez backhands it at second base, flips behind the back, like to get the lead out at second base. Like I know that's kind of like fun show, whatever too, but it's like he wasn't like, oh, fuck, I can't get there. Like, oh, I'm just going to let this ball get up the middle. Like, he went after it, lunged for it, made the catch, flipped it behind his back. They turned a double play. Like, it wasn't like they're just good with getting one out. Like, they are trying their hardest for the most part. The outfielders aren't going to go see a ball in the gap and be like, oh, fuck, that's down. Like, no, they run over to it and they catch it. So, like, I think the All-Star game in baseball is the best. I also think it was better. It's better than the rest as well, because of the things that they were able to integrate in the recent past, and especially yesterday. Having a pitcher, multiple pitchers, mic'd up while they're pitching,
that was sick.
Talking to the broadcast, having multiple guys mic'd up, talking to John Smoltz and the guys in the booth.
Manoah, yeah, Alek Manoah is my favorite. He struck out the side.
Dude, he was sick. I mean, it was so cool.
He was sick, and he was talking about his pitches. Let's try to hit a sinker here, and then he executes it. He's like, let's go front hip sinker here.
And then he throws it.
It was more like front shoulder.
Right, and then
he's like, you're like,
yeah,
that lets you know how fucking good those guys are, because like there's probably a lot of fans out there that are like, oh, like they're just throwing it up there. It's like these guys have a fucking game plan on every single pitch.
100%.
They're playing a chess match with the batter, and like they're calling it out before they do it.
Right. I mean, and anybody who's been an athlete at any level, it doesn't have to be just baseball, but anybody who's been an athlete remembers a lot about like when they were playing, they had a thought process going through, whether it was basketball, coming up the court with the ball, and football, reading the play, looking at the other side of the ball and the defense or the offense. And baseball, it's like as a hitter, you have an idea, like what are you going to do when what counts you get into, what pitches you're sitting on. Happened 2 years ago in Cleveland. They gave Freddie Freeman the microphone against Justin Verlander. And I think when he was up there, he took the first pitch. He's like, I think he's going to go first pitch curveball. And then he throws a fastball. He's like, oh, that's surprising. Okay, well, if he went curveball, he could go back to it, but I think he's going to go try to show off the heater. This is what's actually going on in their heads. This is what they're thinking. They just don't obviously talk it out loud in a game that actually means something. And for Manoah, it was even cooler for me because he's up there and each guy is different. I think if you give that microphone to some other guys in the league, they probably aren't going to give you the entertainment factor that Manoah gave you, because that guy was cool. He's relaxed. He's loose. He's chatting it up with the guys. Yeah, he's still focused. He's still locked in. But then you get to the part where he's got a 2-strike count with 2 outs to Jeff McNeil, and he goes, hey, what do you guys want me to throw? And John Smoltz is like, give me a back foot slider. And he goes, oh, man, you're sexy. Like, let's do it. That's hilarious. Whereas if he gives that to, I don't know off the top of my head, maybe even like Ryan Helsley or these other guys, not as big personalities, they'll sit there and they'll ask him a question and he'll be like, yeah, even like Nestor Cortez wasn't great with the booth. He was good with his catcher back and forth, but he wasn't great with the entertainment factor or just chatting it up with the guys. But you still got to see with Nestor and Jose Trevino, and I think it was cool, by the way, with both of those guys. Nestor Cortez was pitching to Jose Trevino, Yankees and Yankees. Manoah was pitching to Alejandro Kirk, Blue Jays and Blue Jays. So you could tell that those two sets of battery mates had worked with each other in the past, because Manoah's up there and he's like, let's see what Kirky's got for me. Or I think I'm going to go fastball. I think Kirky thinks the same thing. And then he's like, boom, yep, there it is. Or yep. And whatever. So that whole thing was so awesome, because even when Nestor wasn't necessarily interacting with the guys in the booth as much, he was still talking to the catcher while he's pitching, which is such a rare, I don't know any other time that would happen. I guess they've integrated the new buzzer, the pitch comms thing that they put in their hat, but they can't talk to the catcher and be like, all right, I think I want to go fastball here. And the catcher's like, yep, good idea. Or no, okay, I don't know. I think if they're able to expand on that even more, I think next year for the All Star game, if I was the hot intern at the table pitching my suggestions, I'd say, give me the regular broadcast and give me the same type of thing that we had with the interviews about every other inning. Give me a pitcher here, a pitcher there, guys in the dugout. Then I'd have a fully alternative broadcast on ESPN2, or I guess it's Fox that covers it. I'd have a full alternate broadcast on FS1, and it would be only announcing guys, like medium tier guys and former players in the booth, and every single half inning, a different guy or maybe the same guy is mic'd up during that game. And I think that would probably get as much viewership as the actual All-Star game itself. We saw it with Peyton and Eli doing the Manning cast on Monday Night Football. I found myself, when they put that out there, watching the Manning cast more than I was actually watching the ESPN Monday Night Football broadcast, because I want to know what Peyton and Eli are seeing and what the other guys they're talking to. I know they had some celebrities and fucking bullshit on there, but Peyton and Eli, play happens, guy throws an interception, and they both go, oh, the safety, we didn't see the safety, whatever. Whereas the fucking guy on ESPN's interception, whatever. I want to hear the more sophisticated breakdown of it. I want to hear what the pitchers are thinking. I want to hear what the players are saying in the outfield, what the batters, give me on the alternative broadcast, give me a pitcher and catcher mic'd up with the batter at home plate mic'd up too. Like, give me not talking to each other, but I want to hear the pitcher talking to the catcher, and then I want to hear what the batter is thinking all out loud. And in the course of an at bat, that's more entertaining to me than fucking Joe Davis or whoever and John Smoltz in the booth, like 2-1 pitch outside. Like that's
that's kind of crazy. Like after the All Star game is looking back and like realizing that like they mic players up during like the regular season. That's kind of weird when they do that in my mind. Like,
but they don't. But they don't talk to them, do they? Like.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I think it's ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Every Sunday night when there's ESPN game, they mic one of the players up.
Like in the field or.
Yeah, it's usually an outfielder. It's usually not like as like focused of a position as like a pitcher catcher situation. But a lot of times they'll have like Mike Trout or someone out in center.
I think I've seen that. I think Tatis got mic'd up one time.
It's kind of a weird thing. Like during a game, I've seen like Francisco Lindor mic'd up, and it's like usually they're kind of still like focused in, but it takes away like I guess when they would stop doing it is if the mic'd up guy like fucking had like a super high error rate or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like every time that they mic'd up a guy, like they were taking the ball.
Yeah.
Coaches, they'd probably be like, but they're professionals and they're good. But like, you know what I mean? Then they'd probably be like, all right, let's shut that shit down. But
yeah,
I think it's just an extra element that they're trying to add to baseball because there's a lot of people that don't appreciate the art and like the beauty behind baseball because they don't fucking get what's going on. They don't get how hard it is to use a lot of the shit.
Yeah, and I think I just think MLB, I think the All Star broadcast and the All Star game itself is the best of the best, and especially the most recent broadcast from Dodger Stadium with the pitchers mic'd up and the players and everything else that went on. I think they absolutely nailed it, and I think every other league should look towards Major League Baseball to see how they can find a way to integrate talking to the players during the broadcast and honoring different people before the game. And like the Jackie Robinson stuff with Denzel Washington before the game. I loved it. Awesome. Good tribute. Not too much. Not taken away from the game itself. Like we talked about with the Super Bowl. Why the fuck is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the field? Get off the field.
Kickoff. They're literally kicking the ball.
There's 22 players on the field. Matt Gay has his hand up with the ball in the tee, and Dwayne "The Rock" is on the 20-yard line. Are you ready? Like, get off the field. Yeah. Holy shit, dude.
He's standing on the 50 and they're literally kicking the ball around him. He fucking accidentally checks the guy.
Knocks him out of bounds. Fumbles. Yeah. Guy fumbles, scoop and score. Yeah. No, it was stupid.
And FanDuel doesn't honor your bet.
Yeah. FanDuel goes first touchdown. Rams special teams. Fucking ridiculous.
And speaking of that, that's another good transition into the home run derby, which you say. I know.
Okay. I just think
we talked about.
I think it's the best. I think it's the best skills competition of all the leagues. You have the 3-point contest, right? You have the NFL bullshit.
Now the dunk contest is usually pretty poor. There's only.
I was gonna say the dunk contest is right. It's only so much you could do, and I think personally, I think the dunk contest has reached its physical limit until guys start coming in with like fucking literally like trampolines and getting more airtime because you physically can't do any more. And it's the same with the home run derby. You can't do any more, but you still get surprised by A, how far the balls go, B, a guy like Julio Rodriguez showing up as a rookie, not really knowing what to expect, having him listed second to last on the odds board and ending up in the finals and hitting balls, and still guys hit balls out of the stadium. I think the home run derby is by far the best skills competition of all the leagues.
Yeah, I like it. You know what though? I want the old format back. I want the old 10-out format, and here's why. It fucking takes the shit pitcher out of the game because for a guy like, I know Pete Alonso has won it twice, and that's been the guy that's pitched to him, right? But watching him after watching Julio Rodriguez pitcher just lay him in there quick, hit 3 balls. Watching Pete Alonso's guy grab 1 ball at a time in a timed thing, and watching guys like Ronald Acuna have to swing at pitches down and outside, and fucking was getting frustrated. I want the old format back, so it's like, okay, they're gonna make this fucking split decision on whether it was a good pitch or not that they think they can crush, and I get it. It's not as instantly gratifying, but it kind of like it spreads it out a little bit, and also it gets rid of any of the fucking ticky tacky bullshit that's happened. Bryce Harper a couple years ago, Fucking
Yeah,
balls
yeah,
weren't
yeah.
even landed, and they wanted the hometown guy to win. Balls hadn't landed. His dad's firing, and he hits 9 home runs in the final minute to win it. This home run derby, is Albert Pujols they miscount home runs. They
Yeah.
allow Albert Pujols to hit a home run after the buzzer.
Right. That's one. Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking iffy bullshit with that, and I really didn't have too much of a problem with the old format. I thought the old format was sick, and I get it. Like, this one's kind of cool because it's time limited, but at the same time, like, the guy being able to take a pitch and like gather himself rather than just rapid fire swing. It's a fucking event that like a lot of like big time baseball fans watch. You're not necessarily going to get a ton of people that don't love baseball watching the home run derby, maybe because there's not anything else on. You'll get some good viewership, but like I don't mind if it's an all night thing. There's nothing else on. It's not like
That's what I was going to suggest. Yeah, so that's what I was going to suggest. Although I think it is the best skills competition even in the format it has now. I think there are ways to improve it. I think maybe do a 4-minute clock, but like absolutely maybe, okay, let's say 6-minute clock or something, or maybe less. I don't know what the exact time would be, but have a time limit, have the umpire like actually mean something and be behind the plate. And as soon as he makes contact, you start the clock. You got a clock operator and you got a guy behind the plate as the umpire guy. As soon as he makes contact with the ball, fair or foul, start the clock. Ball goes up in the air. Oh, he popped it up. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Boom, ball hits the ground. Okay, clock stops. So that way, like you said, guys could take a pitch, take 2 pitches, and it's not completely, like you said, the thing about the home run derby that people don't realize is that it's almost as much on the BP pitcher as it is on the actual guy hitting home runs.
And so, you got to be able to put it right in the sweet spot. And I think Julio Rodriguez's guy was the perfect example. Not only did he have good pace, but he put it right where he wanted it.
Exactly. So you can't, it's not a home run derby. It's not Pete Alonso versus Julio Rodriguez. It's Pete Alonso and his BP pitcher versus Julio Rodriguez and his BP pitcher. So I think if you can manage a way to get it so the time is a factor, but also not having it be based on the BP pitcher. You know what I mean?
You know what? I haven't really like ironed out the details of this, but how about what if you did like an old format? You went back to the old format, but you only had the option to take 2 pitches or something like that. Where like
in between each pitch, in between each swing.
So say you just swung and fucking you hit a bomb. You get like you have to swing at one of the next 3.
Yeah.
And then every time that you do that, it resets. So you get out.
But
right?
that still puts so much pressure. I mean,
1, 2, and then like, you like maybe you have to swing at the 3rd one. I get that could be shitty too, because what if you take one because you're tired and then you get a fucking you get a bad pitch and then another shitty pitch and you fucking fly out to the right, or you pop it up to right, whatever. I'm a big fan of just say fuck it and go all the way back to like the old school. I used to love the home run derby growing up. I get the timing thing. They're trying to make it more appealing, but like the old school one, it's like fuck it, dude. Like I said, there's nothing on that night anyway. Make it last 4 hours.
No, I get that. That's why I think the format I was talking about, I think you start the clock as soon as, like, give me not like 4 minutes and 4 minutes on the side, like, and not just like the 4 minutes, 3:59, 3:58. I want the milliseconds on the side too. Like, show me the fucking, like a basketball buzzer. Like, it's a fucking timed event, you know? Give me the milliseconds. As soon as he makes contact, tap the button. And once it goes in the air, and this, by the way, doesn't need to be human error. Like, this can be automated. This can be, you have machines and technology to automate a timing stop and start mechanism with the ball, where as soon as you hear the ball is hit by the bat, and as soon as the ball hits the ground, you can start it and stop the clock. And you have 3 minutes of actual hang time, right? Or whatever that is. Because like you said, with the home run derby, I think the rules are you're not allowed to deliver the pitch until the previous ball had hit the ground in some capacity. But they just like don't give a fuck about that anymore. I think they just let them swing freely. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. It's kind of unclear. But I think they will try to iron that out. I don't think there's a huge priority on that. Either way, finicky rules or not, I still think the Home Run Derby is the best skills competition out of every league and all the other pro sports
Agree.
because it's the best. It's the best.
I agree. I just like just get rid of those wishy-washy things. You know, it's funny actually, I had a parlay on there's nothing else to bet on. So I bet on the Home Run Derby. I bet Soto, Alonso, and Schwarber to move on. It was like plus 175. I was like, this is no brainer. Like Schwarber got ripped off by, I think that was the year Bryce Harper won.
Yeah.
You know, like Schwarber should have beat Pujols. Like he should have. He looked like he was trying to fucking hit ground balls at second base. Like his swing, it was a pathetic performance. It really was. He was swinging the bat. Fucking mark my words. Go like rewatch some of his swings in that final round, and he was just. I was like, dude, this is like, I get it. It's Pujols last time. You don't know him just to fucking exit with a loss in the first round, you know. But it just seemed seemed a little fucking fish to me. The miscounting of the home runs, the fucking arbitrary, like kind of like the non-enforcement of rules.
Right.
Like when pitches are allowed to.
So then so then just
the clock. So the either really become definitive and like a hard judge like that home run does not count.
Right.
Because I've had that parlay and I fucking went in and got into it with FanDuel's support. And they fucking recredited me my money. They told me they couldn't do it. And I told the guy, I said, hey, can you give me an email of somebody that can do it?
Yeah, because
that's bullshit. You can't fucking take my money because of the official scoring of the MLB when the MLB clearly, it's all over Action Network, it's all over Twitter. There's
right.
people talking about this. They clearly fucked it up and did it wrong. So you guys need to do right. And the guy's article that I read said MLB can't take all this money in from sports books and
it can't be an event to bet on if they're not going to have regulation rules on it. You can't bet on it then.
Yes, exactly. In basketball, if there's a stat correction, right? The sports books will award you after the game. If fucking somebody was supposed to have an assist that didn't count, a rebound that didn't get counted, a lot of times they'll reward you after the game if there's a stat correction. So I look at it like that, like, yeah, exactly. If you can't take bets on it as a sports book if we're not going to fucking police the rules, especially a conflict of interest.
Exactly.
The sports books are paying the league a fuckload of money. DraftKings, FanDuel, and they were like, oh, well, that's how the MLB scored it. Well, you're partners with the MLB.
So do something about it.
So they credited my account back and they were like, well, this is a one-time courtesy. And I was like, well, believe me, if I get fucked over like this again, I will be reaching back out. So don't fucking put that one in your back pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really my only gripe about it. I don't hate the format. I know, were you at the one last year too?
Yeah, I was.
Denver?
Yep, I was there last year.
Yeah,
with Pete.
Yeah, I went to it. I thought it was fun, really fun to watch. There is that element that is actually pretty exciting about the time when they got 40 seconds left and they got to get 7 home runs out. That is an element of excitement. I just didn't hate the old one, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, as long as they police the rules and they fucking really get it to be like a legitimate event. I just would hate to see it fucking go by the wayside where it's like where they fix something when they just something that wasn't broken that was already a great.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
So that's my grip.
Yeah. Okay, so that's baseball. Football's coming up. Basketball's not relevant. Hockey's not relevant. But training camps are about to start in the NFL, and we wanted to cover quickly at the end of this episode. We're not going to get too far into it. We're not going to fucking break down every team's offensive, defensive, special team, like over under on win totals. That's it. So we're going to break down every single NFL team's win totals, and we're going to tell you if they're going to be above the number or below the number, over or under. All right, Jared? Super easy, simple concept.
Except for the Browns. Because we don't have an over-under for the Browns right now. It's off the board.
Sure. I don't. No, I don't know.
I think it's
Bengals,
it's like
Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, I guess there's only 3 in that AFC North. Perfect. That's fine by me.
Books are not taking the risk with that team with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's fine. Makes sense. Yeah, we won't do the Browns.
Okay.
We're gonna start from the AFC, and we're gonna go. It looks just through the AFC. Start with the AFC West. Chiefs are the highest win. The Chiefs have the highest win total in the AFC West, 10.5. Over or under 10.5 wins for the Chiefs.
Over.
Over 10.5. It should happen. The Chiefs should get 11 easily. The Raiders over under win total this season 8.5. Over under 8.5.
Under.
I think the Raiders are gonna have 9 wins, so I'm going over 8.5. I think they're 8 or 9 win team.
It's just such a good division. So
the Chargers, LA Chargers win total is at 10 on the nose, over or under 10, or it could be 10 even.
Push 10 even.
Push 10 even. I'm going under 10. Everybody thinks the Chargers are always really good and they're loaded with all this dope talent and they always underperform. So they're going to win 8 or 9 games and miss the playoffs. That's how it works with the Chargers. Denver Broncos win total at 10 even. Over, under, or push.
Over. We're going 11. They're going to go 11 and 6.
I agree. I go over there as well. I think 11 and 6 is definitely a fair.
Maybe better. Maybe surprisingly better if that defense plays.
Maybe better.
We'll see.
AFC South win totals. Tennessee Titans over under 9.5.
I'm going. Here's a quick disclaimer. I have to I'm still in baseball mode, so it's like my brain's not fired up. But I'm gonna go over. I think they win 10 games.
Yeah, Tennessee Titans they were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year with 12 wins.
Yeah,
how do they not go over 9.5?
Yeah, because maybe they lost AJ Brown. Maybe I don't know.
I don't care. They drafted. I know they drafted a kid. I think. Anyways.
I don't know. I don't know what the thought is.
Colts, Indianapolis Colts with Matt Ryan over under 9.5 wins.
I think Matt Ryan.
So you got, what did you get? It cut out. Did you over under?
I think they win 9 games. I don't think they're the
under.
I get it. Jonathan Taylor. I just don't fucking believe in Matt Ryan anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think it's fine. I think, I think under 2. I think
under for sure.
Yeah, I think under 9. I think 9 is a good number. 9 is a good win total. 9.5. 9 would be under. So I'm going to take under 9.5 for the Colts. Houston Texans over under 4.5 wins this year.
I don't even fucking know who's on their team, to be honest. But I'm going to go under. They're going to go fucking 4-13.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't. I think they're sticking with Davis Mills.
Didn't they surprise some people last year at the end of the year though? Didn't they have go on a little bit of a rally and start beating teams last year?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how bad. Nobody can name a Houston players Texan. Houston players.
They're sticking with Davis Mills at quarterback, so I'm definitely going under 4.5 wins. I think they might win 3 football games this year. And I think that's maybe giving them a little bit extra. Jacksonville Jaguars over or under 6.5 wins.
Under. I think it still needs another year for fucking Trevor Lawrence to marinate.
Yeah, I think they go over this year. I think they get 7 wins. Doug Peterson's a good head coach, man. He's a new guy for him. Trevor Lawrence is good. They get the first overall pick. They had 2 first rounders on defense, so that they're probably going to shape up a little bit on defense. I think they win 7 games this year. I think that's a good number for them. But man, all of these numbers are like right where I'd put them. I put the they're very well thought out. I think that Texans one is bad though. I think the Texans are going to win like 3 games, maybe 2 games.
They were 4-13 last year, and I just don't see how they got
like
any better.
How did they get better? Yeah, they didn't.
They did. Yeah.
AFC North win totals. Cincinnati Bengals over under 9.5 wins.
I gotta ride with the Bengals. I think they're coming into this year super confident. I'm very optimistic about what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be an over. You got to take at least 10 wins from the Bengals this year. You have to get 10 wins from the Cincinnati Bengals.
They were starting to get hot.
Right. Over under 7.5 wins for the Pittsburgh Steelers next season with with Kenny Pickett Kenny Pickett playing quarterback for the Steelers.
I think it's going to be a rough year for them. I think they win 7 games. I'm going under there.
Yeah, I'd go under too. I think they might win like 6 games. I think it might be a tough year.
I think they have a good defense, but I think I could see that offense just not being able to fucking move the ball at all next year.
Yeah. Yeah. They could also win 8 games though. So
yeah. It's good franchise.
Baltimore Ravens over under 9.5 wins.
Thought this one was pretty interesting, actually. I looked at it. I'm gonna fucking back. I like Lamar Jackson and I like that team, and I'm gonna back that they're able to revert to how they were a couple years ago. So I'm actually gonna take them as a surprising over.
I don't think that's a surprise. I think if Lamar plays all 16 or just 16 out of 17 or whatever, if Lamar Jackson plays the full season, over. I'd take him at least 10 wins. If he misses 3 to 4 to 5 weeks again, like he did last year, I'd take the under.
Yeah, it just
so over.
If they're able to run
I take the over. I take the over.
I think it's actually favorited for them to take the over there. I just remember some of those games where Lamar Jackson was not on and they were showing
ugly.
You're like, oh fuck, this is a tough offense to watch right now.
Yeah. AFC East win totals over under 11.5 for the Buffalo Bills.
I think the Bills are going to be really good. I'm taking the over there.
Yeah, I think 12 wins is fair for the Bengals. I got over 11.5, easy for the Bengals. New England Patriots over under 9. New England Patriots win total over under 8.5.
9 games by a Belichick team with Mac Jones in his second year. I could see them winning 9 games. I'll take the over on that.
Dude,
I see Matt.
I think the Pats win. I think the Pats win 10 games this year. Pats are fucking always there, dude. Mac Jones, they don't need him to be good.
Yeah, they're always there. It's just depending. Yeah. I mean,
dude, they beat the Bills last year. They beat the Bills, who are arguably the best team in football, and Mac Jones threw the ball 3 times. I know it was that crazy wind game, but my point is the Patriots can win football games. I got them at least 9 wins, if not 10. So I'm taking over 8.5 for the Pats.
Yeah, sometimes I just wonder what mathematically all my overs and unders would even make sense, but
oh, just like them people playing each other. Just everybody's just over. You're like, okay, well then, like you can't.
Who's losing then?
Yeah,
who's losing?
Miami Dolphins over under 8.5.
Who is that?
Miami Dolphins over under 8.5 wins.
Under.
I agree. I think they're gonna win 8 on the nose. I don't think Tyreek Hill is like enough to just like boost them.
No,
they're still not a very good team.
They don't get me going very.
New York Jets over under 5.5.
Dude, I hate to say this, but after the recent news that came out,
yeah, he's gonna be ready to go.
Yeah,
Zach Wilson's gonna be ready to go.
He's got that dog in him. I gotta take him at least 6 wins.
Yeah,
just out of respect. Also,
they're also playing the Browns in week 2, which like
a good time to play them.
Right. Well, you're thinking, well, who knows? But Deshaun Watson will most likely be suspended. It's just a matter of how many games. So my point is, they're going to play the Browns without Deshaun Watson. So that could be a win. Like, it depends on these schedules. It depends on who they're playing. I think they're going over 5.5 too. Dude, Garrett Wilson, who they took in the draft, unreal receiver, like amazing out of Ohio State. I think they win 6 games this year. That's not going to put them in the playoffs, obviously, but fuck it. Go Jets. Moving on to the NFC West win total. Arizona Cardinals over or under or push 9 wins.
I think they go over that. I part of me wants to say push, but that fucking team last year had real flashes. It went to shit for like they started off really hot. Didn't they start off like 7-0?
Yeah, I think they were at least 6-0. At least 6-0.
Yeah, they had a great record to start, and then that team, the fucking wheels just fell off. But I'll take them over.
I think 10-6 is definitely
10-7 doesn't seem too far.
10-7, yeah. I was gonna say 10-7 is a very conservative for the Cardinals. Yeah, they're gonna go. They're gonna go over 9. LA Rams win total over under 10.5. Defending Super Bowl champions.
And yeah, I think they win. I think you go over there. I think they win at least 11 games. 11-6. 11-6
Yeah.
is very once again feels conservative when you're talking about a team that just won the Super Bowl. It still has a lot of those pieces.
Yep. I
Yeah,
think
obviously
I think
they had to dish some people, but
yeah, I think Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald, those three players by themselves is 9 wins, literally. I mean, the combination of Kupp and Stafford and then the defensive side, Aaron Donald, is 9 wins. Like, I think they win 11 games easily. I think they could also very easily go 12-5. They could also very easily go 13-4. I mean, very, very easily.
yeah.
San Francisco 49ers win total over, under, or push 10.
Under.
Under, way under. Way under.
I don't like you're just gonna fucking bet the house on Trey Lance.
Like, I don't think he's bad. I just think they're a 7-10 team this year.
I just don't think you step in as a rookie in the NFL and don't have some like learning curves.
100%. I mean, and he's not,
And, like,
technically a rookie, but yeah.
It's a good team and they actually will be able to run the ball quite a bit, obviously, like how they did last year. But it's like 10 steep. 10 steep. I think they win the fucking 9 games.
Seahawks win total over, under, or push 6 wins.
Like it. Oh, part of me wants to say under, but I think I could see a push.
I was going to say
Seahawks team.
push is pretty. I think that's about where they're going to be.
You know what? Is Drew Lock starting for them?
I think it's a quarterback battle between Drew Lock and Geno Smith. So
okay, you know what? I'm gonna fucking say under. I'm gonna take a bold one and say they win 5 games this year, because if Russell Wilson couldn't get it done with that fucking team, I don't think that the offensive line, there's no way they made fucking leaping and strides. I don't see Drew Lock being able to perform with a shittier defense than the Broncos was last year and a fucking way worse offensive line.
yeah, this article I'm looking at has the under as the bet because they said they play the NFC West, so they play the 49ers, the Rams, and the Cardinals all twice. So that's 6 games where there will be the underdog. Then the NFC West plays the AFC West this year. So that's another 6 games where they will be the under. Actually, that's not 6 games. That's 4. There's 4 teams in the AFC West times 2. That's 8 plus 6. I mean, that's like 14 games where they're going to be underdogs, and they play the Buccaneers this year. So yeah, you know what? I'm taking under 6 too. I think they're going to be unfortunately, I think they're going to be like a 4-13 type team this year, which does suck for the Seahawks, but is what it is. NFC South win totals. Atlanta Falcons over, under, push 5.
Let's see, Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons over, under, or push 5 wins.
Who do they have starting for them?
Their quarterback's going to be either Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati. He was the University of Cincinnati quarterback.
I'm taking push 5.
Yep. Yeah, push 5 is a really good pick there.
5 and 12 sounds about right. that team's dog shit. Cordero Patterson's just their running back.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with him. Like obviously he's a fucking explosive player, but it's just like it's just kind of a piecemeal team, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Over, under, Panthers win total 6.5.
Who'd they get this? Didn't they get a
Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield. You know what? They're gonna surprise some people. Christian McCaffrey's gonna come back. Baker's gonna be playing with a fucking chip on his shoulder. They're gonna win 7 games.
Yeah, I take the over too. Yeah, I take the over. New Orleans Saints win total over, under, or push 8 wins.
Push 8 because the defense is good. I just don't fucking think they can do anything offensively, really.
I got under. I think they're going to go in 7 this year. I think Jameis is just like not that good. Actually, you know what? Scrap that. I'm flipping it. I'm going to go over. I think they win 9. I'm kind of looking at their team now. They got Jarvis Landry. I forgot they traded for Jarvis Landry. Michael Thomas will be back. They also drafted Chris Olave from Ohio State too.
The defense is fucking ridiculous.
Exactly. I think Jameis has enough weapons for them to win. And Jameis was really good for them. So actually, I'm going to go 9. I'm going to go over 8 wins for the Saints.
I think you're not far off because if Jameis can, even if he can score and he
Dude,
turns
he
the
was
ball
like,
over,
I think he was like fucking like 6-2 in 8 games last year, and then he tore his ACL or whatever.
yeah, and like fucking will lead the league in like passing yards. He just also throws like 30 picks. But the saving grace for that is that he could throw fucking 20 picks and that defense will make 18 of those disappear.
Yeah. Yep.
As long as he plays mistake-free football.
Tampa Bay Bucks win total over under 11.5.
I think that they probably win over. I think they win at least like 12 or 13 games. It's still Tom and like Steer, and the defense is still going to be sick.
I got under. I think they're going to win 11 games, which is still good.
Brady's last year where he wins 11 games and fucking throws some pick and then loses the playoffs and finally is like.
Yeah, I think he's still really good, and I think they're going to be a solid team. But I think they win 11 games this year. I think they get in the playoffs as a wild card team again. So that's just what I think of the NFC South. NFC East, one of my favorite fucking divisions. I love talking about these guys. Dallas Cowboys win total over under 10.5. Over, baby. Over. Give me 12.
Give me 13.
Give me 16-1. Give it to me.
Dude, I could see them if Dak's just good to go all year, the way that their weapons are situated and the way that defense played last 12, 13 games, no problem.
Yep. New York Giants over under or push 7 wins.
I'm thinking about that division now. I'm taking a push 7, but I think Daniel Jones is actually better than people think. But like 7 seems appropriate. 7, fuck, I don't know.
I think push.
I think 7 feels right. 7 feels right. I think that numbers. I think the ones that push are just like hard not to take that push.
Yeah,
because it's like that number is probably so correct.
Yeah, I'll take push. Philadelphia Eagles win total over under or push 9 wins for the Eagles.
Under 8 and 9.
8 and 9. I go push at 9 and 8. I think they're a 9 and 8 football team. I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's an awesome quarterback and an awesome dude, but he's never going to be more than a 9 and 8, even a 10 and 6 quarterback in the NFL. He's just not going to be.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just tough to watch. Yeah, it's another one of those situations where it's like if he's not pulling out miracles and the defense finds a way to stop him, the offense just fucking sputters. Like ugly.
Yeah, Washington Commanders over under 7.5. I would say this might be the biggest lock on the under of any team I've seen so far. 7.5 for the Commanders.
I don't even know who they have. Who's
Carson Wentz is their quarterback.
No,
dude, they're gonna win 5 games this year at their peak.
They're gonna be ass. I agree. I'll take the under there.
Under 7.5 for the Commanders. Last but not least, Jared, the NFC North win totals. Chicago Bears over or under 6.5 wins.
Under. They win 6 games this year.
I am a big Justin Fields guy, and I'm probably biased here, but I'm going to go over. I think they win 7 games. Still think they miss the playoffs, but I go over for the Bears. Detroit Lions over or under 6 wins this year.
Under again. I just don't think.
They're an under team.
I don't think the team that won 3 games all of a sudden is just going to turn around and double that production. I know that they kind of found something with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
And that little connection last year was kind of nice, but that team is still fucking.
I think Jared Goff is fucking ass. I think they're going to win 4 games this year. So I got under for the Lions too.
Green Bay be an improvement.
Green Bay Packers win total over, under, or push 11.
Over. They go 12-5 at least.
I got a push. You lose Devontae Adams, that's a full win at least, if not more.
Yeah. But
I got
also am
push.
just a fan. I'm a fan of believing that Aaron Rodgers can turn any receiver. He's kind of that
Oh, yeah.
type of factor.
I
He
agree.
might be like, it could be fucking St. Brown's brother, Equinemius St. Brown. You might turn him into
Yeah.
a fucking 12 touchdown a season guy.
Minnesota Vikings, last team we got here, Jared. Minnesota Vikings, over, under, or push 9 wins. It's so hard because you look at that team
It's
and you
it's
just
that
say,
9. That 9 looks right. The 9 feels right. But
dude, I'm sorry, but when I just look at their offense and see Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Adam Thielen, like, how does that team not win 10 games a year?
and Kirk Cousins, yeah, it's like I know Kirk Cousins sucks, but he doesn't really suck. Like,
Yeah,
I think
he's just
people
middle
like to
tier.
hate people love to fucking hate on Kirk Cousins. But I'm taking them at 10 wins this year. They're going 10-7.
Yeah, I got over for the Vikings. I got 10-7 too.
I think
Over
I
9.
think they play better.
Yeah.
They play better ball this year.
Yeah. So, excuse me. That'll about do it. That pretty much covers all the teams. That was relatively quick, and we kept it under an hour, but that was fun to talk about. Gets the fucking football juices flowing a little bit. Training camps just start to fucking show up here soon. Next thing we know, college football will be kicking off. Woo! That's the good stuff, Jared. So,
Yeah, I'm excited, man. And then the best parts of baseball, the second half of baseball, is
right
annoying.
place.
Yeah,
The fall, dude. The fall is the
a day
best.
It's the October is a fucking great sports month, dude.
And even
October is just-
September, I'd argue September, October might be the 2 best sporting
they're
months.
incredible. I'm so excited. Yeah, like I'm enjoying the summer heat, and I'm like, I know how I get around the winter. Get a little bit of seasonal depression going on. Everything turns brown.
See, dude, I am just not like that at all because I'm the type of guy who I will sit inside with the doors fucking closed, looking outside with the snow on the ground, and just a fucking plate of wings and an ice cold beer, and just love watching football, dude.
I love it. I definitely.
How do you not like on a Sunday waking up and just putting on 7 layers and then turning on fucking Red Zone, 7 hours of commercial free football, and just don't move.
Dude,
set up a fucking set up a catheter and just get the fucking piss drawn out of you the whole day so you don't have to move.
I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm gonna have to break this winter up with maybe go take like 2 trips. Go somewhere warm.
Oh, okay.
Go somewhere warm for a little bit and just like come back and
go to San Diego in like November.
Dude, when 4:30 rolls around and I'm working from my little at-home desk and I look out the window and it's starting to get fucking dark out there and I'm like, it's fucking 4:30, and then I'm like,
I get that.
What do I do for the next 6 hours? It just if winter could just go from like, if you could get the fall and then like winter didn't draw out so far into the spring.
Yeah.
Like, if winter started in November and it went through fucking New Year's and then like the very next day, like as soon as New Year's day hits, it was just springtime and shit was green again. I would fucking like life would be perfect.
What about?
I do enjoy those. I do enjoy holiday snow. I don't fuck with like a dead grass like March still.
Sure. Yeah. Well, either way.
Save that conversation for a rainy day.
Yeah. Either way, we appreciate you guys tuning into the Phenomenal Fan Podcast. Again, my name's Ryan. His name's Jared. Episode 32. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back, if not later this week, again, early next week. Second half of baseball is coming up. Check out our other baseball only show. Follow us on social media, Patreon, all the other good ones. We appreciate you guys tuning in as always. And yeah, let's get football season going. Let's get the fall rolled around here. Let's get this heat out of here. And let's start just getting more to gamble on.
Thanks for listening to the Phenomenal Fan Podcast. Want more? Follow us on social media and subscribe to Patreon for exclusive content.